Hazrat Hassan ibn Ali. Birth and early life of Hazrat Hassan, R.A. Hazrat Hassan was the eldest grandson of the Prophet Muhammad and the firstborn of Hazrat Ali ibn Abi Talib and Hazrat Fatima Azra. He was born in Medina in the 3rd year of Hijrah. Upon his birth, the Prophet recited the adhan in his ear and performed his akikah on the 7th day. From his childhood, Hazrat Hassan, R.A., became the center of the Prophet's special love and affection. The Prophet would carry him on his shoulders, kiss him, and say, "O Allah, I love him, so love him too." Bukhari. Hazrat Hassan was blessed to be raised directly under the guidance of the Prophet, reflecting his noble character and manners. His conduct and habits were a clear reflection of the Prophet's personality. The upbringing of Hazrat Hassan, R.A. Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Fatima raised him with great care and wisdom. From an early age, he was taught prayer, fasting, charity, honesty, truthfulness, and kindness towards others. As he grew, his knowledge and wisdom became well known in Medina, and the scholars and righteous people admired his piety and intellect. Hazrat Hassan's love for the Prophet. Hazrat Hassan shared a special bond of love with the Prophet. He was frequently seen in the Prophet's company, often riding on his shoulders. During prayer, one day Hazrat Hassan, R.A., climbed onto the Prophet's back during prostration, and the Prophet prolonged his sujud until Hassan safely came down. The Prophet said, "Hassan and Hussein are the leaders of the youth of paradise." Tirmidhi. Hazrat Hassan's character and morality. Hazrat Hassan was known for his exceptional character, patience, and generosity. From a young age, he adopted the manners and ethics of the Prophet. His personality reflected humility, kindness, and calmness. He treated people with warmth, forgave their mistakes, and helped the poor and needy without hesitation. Once a man asked Hazrat Hassan, R.A., "What is generosity?" He replied, "Giving before one is asked, and fulfilling the needs of others without expecting anything in return." Hazrat Hassan lived a life of humility despite being from the noblest family of Islam. His leadership qualities, sincerity, and compassion for people made him beloved among the Muslims of Medina. Hazrat Hassan's knowledge and wisdom. Hazrat Hassan was not only a man of noble character, but also a man of deep knowledge. He was a scholar of the Quran, a narrator of hadith, and a jurist who understood the matters of Sharia with great insight. He was often found teaching people, answering their questions with wisdom, and guiding them towards righteousness. His famous saying was, "The best friend is the one who reminds you of Allah and the hereafter." Many companions and scholars would sit in his gatherings to learn from his knowledge and benefit from his noble conduct. Hazrat Hassan's role in the Ummah. After the martyrdom of his father, Hazrat Ali, Hazrat Hassan was accepted as the leader by the people of Iraq and Hijaz. However, he recognized the growing conflict between the Muslims and sought to prevent bloodshed. His foresight and wisdom led him to consider peace and unity above personal leadership, and he made efforts to reconcile the divisions within the Ummah. The political insight of Hazrat Hassan, R.A. After the martyrdom of his father Hazrat Ali, R.A., Hazrat Hassan assumed the leadership of the Muslims. But the situation was highly sensitive. Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, R.A., was present in Syria with a large army and influence. To prevent further bloodshed among Muslims, Hazrat Hassan decided to make peace. He clearly stated, "I do not wish to fight for power. I wish to prevent the bloodshed of the Ummah of Muhammad." Based on this noble intention, Hazrat Hassan stepped down from the caliphate and signed a peace treaty with Hazrat Muawiyah, R.A., bringing unity and stability to the Muslim community. That year came to be known in Islamic history as Aam al-Jama'ah, the Year of Unity. The impact of Hazrat Hassan's treaty. Through this treaty, the years of civil war and conflict among Muslims came to an end. The Muslim world breathed a sigh of relief as the Ummah was spared from more bloodshed. The Prophet Muhammad had foretold this when he said, "This son of mine is a leader, and Allah will bring peace between two large groups of Muslims through him." Hazrat Hassan demonstrated that true courage is not in fighting battles for power, but in sacrificing personal ambition for the sake of the Ummah. His sacrifice and political wisdom became a timeless lesson that in times of conflict, peace, tolerance, and wisdom should prevail. The final years of Hazrat Hassan, R.A. After the peace treaty, Hazrat Hassan returned to Medina, where he spent the rest of his life in worship, teaching, and living a simple life. In his final days, he suffered from illness. According to some narrations, he was poisoned, but he bore it with patience and never sought revenge. Before his death, he advised his brother Hazrat Hussein, R.A., "If the people allow, bury me next to my grandfather. Otherwise, bury me in Jannat al-Baqit." Due to disagreements among some people, he was respectfully buried in Jannat al-Baqi. The noble character of Hazrat Hassan, R.A. Hazrat Hassan displayed a character full of kindness, patience, and forgiveness throughout his life. On one occasion, a man verbally abused him. Hazrat Hassan patiently listened without anger. When the man finished, Hazrat Hassan gently said, "O brother, if you are hungry, I will feed you. If you are without clothes, I will clothe you. If you are in need, I will give you wealth." The man was so touched by his noble behavior that he began to cry and said, "You truly are the grandson of the Messenger of Allah." This incident showed Hazrat Hassan's unmatched patience and gentleness even toward those who wronged him, sacrificing leadership for the unity of Muslims. Hazrat Hassan did not consider leadership as a goal to fight for. Rather, he saw leadership as a responsibility for preserving the unity of the Muslim Ummah. He declared, "I would rather step down from leadership than see Muslims shed each other's blood." His sacrifice was praised by the scholars and righteous people of later generations who described it as a turning point in Islamic history. It showed that true leadership is serving the people and protecting the Ummah from division. The passing of Hazrat Hassan. Hazrat Hassan passed away in the 49th year of Hijrah in Medina. His death was a great loss to the Muslims. The people of Medina mourned the loss of a leader who was a role model of peace, kindness, and humility. Though he wished to be buried near his grandfather, due to political reasons at the time, he was buried in Jannat al-Baqi, the famous cemetery in Medina. Lessons from the life of Hazrat Hassan teaches us many lessons. Power is temporary, but Allah's pleasure is eternal. Controlling one's anger is true strength. Sacrificing personal interests for the unity of Muslims is the highest success. Instead of seeking faults in others, one should work on improving their own actions. The status of Hazrat Hassan among the companions. Hazrat Hassan held a lofty status among the companions and the next generations, Tabi'een. Hazrat Umar, R.A., loved him deeply and would often say, "In my heart, Hassan and Hussein hold the same place as they did in the heart of the Messenger of Allah." Hazrat Ali, R.A., also said, "Among my children, the one who loves the Messenger of Allah the most is Hassan, and the Prophet loved him the most in return." The knowledge and wisdom of Hazrat Hassan. Hazrat Hassan was a man of deep religious knowledge. He was a memorizer of the Quran, a narrator of hadith, and a scholar of Islamic jurisprudence. People from far and wide would seek his guidance and ask him about religious matters, and he would always answer with wisdom and compassion. He would often say, "Knowledge without practice is meaningless, and practice without sincerity is worthless." The worship and supplications of Hazrat Hassan, R.A. Hazrat Hassan was dedicated to worship. He would cry during the night prayers, humbly supplicating to Allah. He would say, "Tears in front of Allah soften the heart and wash away sins." His supplications were filled with humility. One of his famous du'as was, "O Allah, protect me from the trials of this world and grant me the blessings of the hereafter." The blessed family of Hazrat Hassan. Hazrat Hassan had several children, among them the well-known Hassan al-Mutanna and Zayd R.A. His descendants carried forward the love, honor, and message of all Ahlul Bayt. Throughout generations, his family stood for unity, truth, and justice, struggling against injustice with patience and wisdom. Hazrat Hassan's legacy of forgiveness and kindness. Hazrat Hassan left a legacy of kindness and compassion for the Muslim Ummah. He used to say, "Good character is a sign of true faith, and bad character is a sign of weak faith." He always treated people with gentleness, showed affection to the young, respected his elders, and treated even his servants with kindness. When people wronged him, he showed patience. When they praised him, he remained humble. Some wise sayings of Hazrat Hassan. Hazrat Hassan shared many wise sayings that became guiding principles for Muslims. 1. The wisest person is the one who controls his desires. 2. Worldly wealth has no real value. True wealth is the peace of the heart. 3. If you wish people to speak well of you, fear Allah and speak the truth. His life and conduct became an example that true nobility is not in lineage but in character. Hazrat Hassan's advice to the Ummah. Hazrat Hassan always encouraged the Ummah to remain united and avoid worldly conflicts. He said, "O people, do not let the world deceive you. Do not run after its glitter. True success lies in the pleasure of Allah." He reminded people, "Whoever finds Allah has found everything, and whoever loses Allah has lost everything." Hazrat Hassan's patience in trials. Hazrat Hassan faced many hardships in life but never complained. Even when he was poisoned and his body suffered great pain, he said, "I am pleased with the decree of Allah. He is my master and protector." He spent his entire life working for the welfare of the Ummah and left this world after teaching the lessons of patience, unity, and sacrifice. The honor of Hazrat Hassan in the Muslim Ummah. Hazrat Hassan held a highly respected position among the Muslims. The companions and their followers showed him immense love and honor. Hazrat Umar R.A. used to say, "Hassan and Hussein hold the same place in my heart that they held in the heart of the Messenger of Allah." Hazrat Ali R.A. would say, "The one who loved the Prophet the most among my children was Hassan, and the Prophet loved him greatly in return." Hazrat Hassan's knowledge and scholarship. Hazrat Hassan was not only known for his noble character, but also for his deep understanding of the Quran and Hadith. He was a scholar, a memorizer of the Quran, and a jurist who solved complex matters of Islamic law with wisdom. People from far regions would travel to learn from his knowledge and sit in his gatherings to ask about religious matters. He always answered with kindness and wisdom. He said, "Knowledge without action is worthless, and action without sincerity is fruitless." Hazrat Hassan's R.A. worship and supplication. Hazrat Hassan spent much of his nights in prayer, often weeping in the presence of Allah. He would say, "Crying before Allah softens the heart and washes away sins." When he raised his hands in supplication, his humility was such that those who saw him were moved to tears. One of his famous prayers was, "O Allah, protect me from the trials of this world and grant me the rewards of the hereafter." The descendants of Hazrat Hassan R.A. Hazrat Hassan had several children, among them the well-known Hassan al-Mutanna and Zayd R.A. His descendants have carried forward the honor and love for all Ahlul Bayt till this day. His family always stood for the unity and welfare of the Muslim Ummah, striving against injustice with patience and wisdom. The moral legacy of Hazrat Hassan left for the Ummah remains a guiding light for all generations. He used to say, "Good character is a sign of faith, while bad character reflects a weakness in faith." He always dealt with people kindly, showed mercy to the young, honored the elders, and treated his servants with compassion. If someone wronged him, he responded with patience. If someone praised him, he showed humility. Some wise sayings of Hazrat Hassan R.A. 1. The The wisest among people is the one who controls his desires. 2. The wealth of this world has no real value. True wealth is peace of the heart. 3. If you want people to speak well of you, fear Allah and speak the truth. Hazrat Hassan's life and character taught us that the real identity of a person is not his status or wealth, but his morals and deeds. Hazrat Hassan's advice for the Muslim Ummah. Hazrat Hassan always called his followers towards goodness and warned them of the deception of the worldly life. He said, "O people, do not be deceived by the world's glitter. Do not chase after temporary pleasures. True success lies in seeking the pleasure of Allah." He would remind the people, "Whoever gains Allah has gained everything, and whoever loses Allah has lost everything." Hazrat Hassan's patience and endurance. Throughout his life, Hazrat Hassan endured many hardships but never complained. Even when he was poisoned and his body suffered intense pain, he said, "I am content with the will of Allah. He is my protector and sustainer." He spent his entire life working for the welfare of the Muslim Ummah. When he passed away, he left behind a legacy of patience, good character, unity, and sacrifice. Illuminating lessons from the life of Hazrat Hassan, R.A., was filled with light, love, and guidance. Through his actions, he taught the Ummah lessons of peace, tolerance, and noble character. When the opportunity of leadership arose, he sacrificed his rule for the unity of the Muslims. When faced with enemies, he responded not with revenge but with patience. When he was poisoned, he forgave the oppressor and left his matter to Allah. The importance of Muslim unity according to Hazrat Hassan, R.A. Hazrat Hassan's treaty ended years of bloodshed and conflict between Muslims. Had he not chosen peace, the fighting among Muslims would have continued. He declared, "I am leaving my position of leadership for the unity of the Ummah of Muhammad, so that no Muslim sheds the blood of another Muslim." These words brought peace and relief to the hearts of Muslims at the time and saved the Ummah from a great trial. This sacrifice became famously known in history as the Treaty of Hassan, an everlasting example of prioritizing unity over personal authority. The condition of the Ummah after Hazrat Hassan, R.A. Though differences continued in later generations, Hazrat Hassan's actions remained a shining example for the Ummah. Scholars throughout history praised his sacrifice as one of the greatest acts of preserving Muslim unity. He taught that personal desires should not lead to conflict. Leadership is temporary, but the unity of Muslims is eternal. The relevance of Hazrat Hassan's R.A. character today. Even today, if Muslims follow the noble character, patience, and unity taught by Hazrat Hassan, R.A., the divisions among them would disappear. The world still needs the values of peace, reconciliation, and unity, and Hazrat Hassan's R.A. life is the perfect model to achieve this. The message of sincerity and love from Hazrat Hassan. Hazrat Hassan spent his entire life spreading the message of sincerity, love, and goodwill. He used to say, "A heart filled with the love of Allah cannot harbor hatred or malice." He advised people to stay away from worldly disputes and live solely for the pleasure of Allah. Every action of his life and every word he spoke was an invitation to love, kindness, and peace. Summary of Hazrat Hassan's R.A. teachings. The teachings of Hazrat Hassan convey timeless lessons. Do not harm others for your own sake. Keep love in your hearts despite differences. Do not let the struggle for power cause bloodshed in the Ummah. Controlling one's desires is true bravery. The pleasure of Allah is the ultimate goal of life. The life of Hazrat Hassan, R.A., is a shining example that worldly honor and power fade away, but Allah's pleasure remains eternal. The passing of Hazrat Hassan, R.A., and the grief of the Ummah. When Hazrat Hassan passed away, the atmosphere of Medina was filled with sorrow. Great companions and their followers wept and said, "Today we have lost the one who carried the character and forbearance of the Messenger of Allah. His funeral prayer was led by Hazrat Hussein, R.A., and he was buried in Jannat al-Baqi. His grave remains a place of love and respect for the people of Medina to this day. Lessons from the life of Hazrat Hassan, R.A., for today. Even today, the life of Hazrat Hassan, R.A., teaches us. Sacrifice your personal interests for the unity of the Ummah. Resolve conflicts with peace and gentleness. Make the love of Allah the purpose of your life. True success lies in forgiving others. May Allah enable us to learn from the life of Hazrat Hassan, R.A., and follow his noble teachings. Ameen.